For the last 7 months, I've been making tips and tricks videos across every single map, and one of the things that's been highly requested is longer compilations with every tip because people are missing some of my uploads. Now, it is important to note that these are all just taken from my previous clips and just thrown together in a big compilation. So if you've seen some of these before, that's okay. There's plenty of them to watch. I guarantee that you'll learn a ton of things, and if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you guys subscribe. I have huge things planned for Counter-Strike 2. I know this really cool trick to trick somebody in Palace. I'm going to quickly show you the trick, and then I'm going to explain why it works afterwards. So here you go. I'm going to jiggle into Palace. I'm going to see an enemy, and once I see him, I'm going to jump into this glitch spot that's going to play a sound that makes it sound like I fell off the balcony, but I didn't. And then I'm going to go back in and catch him off guard because he thinks that I fell away. Now I'm going to show you exactly why this works. So when you land in this spot, it makes it sound as if you dropped in the cement below, but you didn't. So for reference, here's what the wood sounds like when you land on top of it, which is what sound it should make. And then here's what it sounds like when you land on top of the cement. Now I'm going to show you his POV, and we're going to see exactly what this sounds like and see why he got tricked. As you heard, it sounds just like he fell off a balcony, so you can understand why this trick might get you a couple of free kills. Why are we still seeing smokes like this when this map has been out for 10 years? It's true, Mirage is turning 10 this upcoming year, 2023, and some of you guys still don't know the most basic lineups on this map. All you have to do is you're going to line up in the middle of this pillar, you're going to aim to the left of, I don't even know what this is, I'm going to be honest with you. You're going to aim to the left in the middle, and then left click, right where my crosshair is. And just like that, you'll never miss a jungle smoke again, and you'll never hear your teammates complain. You have no more excuses to ever miss a jungle smoke starting now. If you're playing this spot on Mirage, you're trolling your team, and I'm going to show you why. Some of you guys may think that this is actually a really good off angle, but it's not. And the reason is because you could be sitting here and just die without even seeing anybody, and that's because of the way that the geometry in this game works. As you can see, I couldn't see him at all, and I'm just completely dead. Now I'm going to show you an example of what it looks like to shoot somebody against the firebox wall. You can see them from miles before they see you, and you have plenty of time if you wanted to make sure you got the kill to line it up and then pre-fire them. And overall, this spot is just really not that good. If you're still playing here in 2022, please stop. You're trolling your team. They message me. They want you to stop. They're very upset with you. There's actually a glitch in Counter-Strike right now that might be getting you killed. Some of you guys already may know this, but for those of you that don't, there's actually a glitch that goes on with smokes in CSGO. If there's a light behind a smoke while it's up, you'll be able to see it glowing through the smoke. But some of you guys may not know that if you walk in front of that light while the smoke is up, the people can actually see the light disappear, meaning that there's somebody in the smoke. This is most prevalent in some place like window, where you can see when somebody comes through the window, and you'll know whether or not they're there or not. So if they're ever watching the smoke and they see the light go out, they'll know that you're in window, and they'll be able to pre-fire you like this. So make sure you think about this the next time you're thinking about going through a window smoke. This is by far my most requested video on my channel, so today I'm going to show you how to smoke window from T-spawn on Mirage, and then after I show you this smoke, I'm going to show you the lineup on 64 tick as well for all my matchmaking warriors out there. Alright, so let's get into it. First things first, you're going to line up into the side of this trash can like so, and you're going to hold D, and yes, you're going to hold D, so if I go this way, as you can see, I'm moving, I'm holding D, you're going to aim right here, and while you're aiming here, again, while holding D, you're going to jump throw, and then this smoke's going to land in towards window. It's going to land every time. It's the most consistent window smoke out there. You can throw it very quickly once you know how to do it. And for all of my matchmaking warriors out there, I'm going to quickly show you guys how to smoke window for 64 tick. It's very easy. Off of spawn, you're going to come right here and line up with, I'm assuming this looks like kind of like the halo symbol, yeah? You're going to turn around, you're going to aim here while crouch, you're going to walk again while crouch, and then jump throw when your crosshair crosses this chair, so it'll look like this if you do it correct. The smoke lands comfortably in window, no gaps either, so you guys can use this in your matchmaking game. A lot of people have been asking me how to do the ROP silent drop from up top here, and it's actually very easy. There's two different ways to do the ROP shot. I'm going to show you the first one right now. All you're going to do is you're going to come up here and you're going to line up with the rock like so. You're going to find this state on the wall like this. You're going to put your crosshair here, and then you're going to walk forward, and then while you're falling, you're also going to press A right before you hit the ground. You hold W the entire time, and then you press A, so like this. And then I get stuck here, and then I'm just going to let go, and I made it down without making any noise. And now this is the second way to do it. This one's a little bit more convenient because you're going to be looking in the direction of the enemy when you land, but it's a little bit harder to do. So I'm going to quickly show you how to do this one now. You're going to come over here, and this time, while you're crouched, you're going to aim here. Take a second to get this line up if you need. Stand. You're going to hold Shift and A, and when you start falling, you're also going to hold S. So Shift and A, and once I'm falling, I hit S. I get stuck here again. I can drop, and I'm already looking this way. There's two ways to ROPS drop. You can use whichever one you need to use. They're both viable. Jail is one of the most popular places to play in all of Mirage. As you can see, it's such a hard spot, and every time you jump down here, you're just jumping right into their crosshair. But I'm going to show you something that might change the entire way that you play the map, and this works for Jail, and it also works for Get Right, because both of these spots, when you jump out of the window or jump off of the balcony, you're landing right in their crosshairs, and there's nothing you can do because you're falling, so they have an advantage on you. The tip is that when you're coming down off this wall, when you drop down, if you hug this wall, you'll land on the ground, and that way you can actually peek into them and have a fair fight against somebody playing in towards Jail or Get Right. And this tip has gotten me so many free kills because nobody's actually expecting you to peek from lower, and it's extremely helpful because you're going to catch your enemies off guard a lot of the time. One more thing that I wanted to show you, and it's that Jail is also completely spammable. So if you're here and your teammates are getting killed from Jail, you can actually jump up here and spam them right through this wall. Jail is completely paper thin, and you can just go ahead and get a kill on somebody playing in towards Jail. You're looking at the strongest angle on all of A-Site Mirage, and you may be confused at first because you're thinking, why is it? It's in the middle of the open, there's no cover. Well, I'm going to show you why. And it's that when you're coming out of ramp, and right here, when you get up here and you just make your decision on where you want to go, that's when you peek into this guy, and it's a headshot angle. I play this angle all the time and immediately two-tap people. And before you comment, what happened if they come out Palace? Well, obviously you wouldn't play here if you didn't have a teammate watching Palace, but even if they do, it's actually really difficult for them to spot you because you're actually being covered by this pillar, so you'll have a little bit of time before they actually get a chance to see you. And again, if somebody's spotting for you, you'll have plenty of time to make this spot work. Even if you know that there's somebody there, you may think it's as simple as pre-firing, but it's actually not, because you can actually play anywhere along this wall. You can play farther back, you can play up here even closer. As long as you're using this default pillar, you're going to have an immediate headshot angle and a crazy off angle to anybody that tries to walk out ramp. If you're an A player, I highly recommend that you try this spot. For those of you guys that may have been commenting things like CSGO is just a battle of who knows the most one-ways, I'm here to tell you right now, you're completely right, and that's basically all it boils down to. So today I'm going to show you yet another one-way. As you can see, we're going to show you one for market today. So basically, you guys have probably been in a position where you've walked out B after you've baited your entire team and gotten a kill, and then once you plant the bomb, you want to push market to catch the rotators off guard, because that's what everybody does. The next time you're in this position and you have a smoke, why don't you go ahead and while you're running in here, right-click this smoke down so that it lands about in front of the corner, and then jump up on this back shelf. And when you do that, you're going to get this crazy one-way, and as you saw when the video loaded, there's pretty much no way to see them, even if you know they're there. It's so strong. I've played against this one way at least once a day, and even though I know exactly what it is, I always somehow manage to die to it. Not a lot of people actually know that you can spam somebody from cat if you're on B site. If you've ever been in this situation, basically, it's pretty common. You're here, you see one cat, what do? You don't want to peek him because it's a really hard fight for the T. Well, next time, why don't you just try spamming him? It does a lot of damage, and if somebody's low, it can actually get you a kill. I've done this many times in the past, and it's actually worked to great success. You'd be surprised. If you ever spot somebody cat, try to spam them through here. You never know, you might kill somebody. Have you ever heard a teammate say something along the lines of, I wish I could just drop out of apps without making noise. It would be so much easier. Today, I'm here to show you that it's actually possible, and all you're going to do is you're going to get in this corner like so. Yes, you're exposed, but most of the time the B players are hiding late round situations. And then you're going to hold shift and press W and D at the same time. And then, once you're about to fall off of the balcony, you're going to jump and let go of W and just continue to hold D and shift. And if you do it correctly, it should look like this. You're going to get stuck on this pixel, and you're just going to continue to hold D until you fall down. And if you don't start to drop immediately, it's okay. All you need to do is just let go of D and tap it repeatedly, and you should make it to the ground without making any noise. Recently, I've been showing a lot of one-way smokes on my channel, but there's actually some things in the game that are one-way angles or one-way textures. Starting with the one that you're looking at on your screen right now. For those of you guys that know about this, you probably already see what I'm talking about. For those of you guys that don't, we have this one-way angle from the market palette, which is right here. As you can see, when I get up close, I can see this guy through the window, but when I'm all the way back here, it's pretty much impossible to see him unless you really stare at it. And from the other side, it's incredibly easy to actually see people through this. As you can see, I'm up here. It's not too hard. The thing about this spot, though, is that as soon as you shoot, it of course will break. So when you take the shot, you have to make sure that you're going to instantly kill them, because otherwise you might reveal your position a little bit too early. I know that this isn't going to be able to be used that often because most of the CTs will break this on their way through. For those games where you play with people who don't do that, this is actually a very crazy one way that you can use on a post plant. But at the very least, you know it's a thing now, so when you're coming into your market and you think there might be somebody there, you can just break it, it'll reveal their position, and then you can get the quick kill. In another video, I showed you guys the arch smokes, and so today I'm going to show you guys how to smoke market and market door. A lot of people were asking me. So all you have to do is you're going to come into this corner, ask a kind teammate to drop you guys a smoke, and what you're going to do is you're going to throw the market smoke like so. Aim right here, jump throw, and then you're going to throw the market door smoke by aiming right here, and then again, jump throwing. And once both of these smokes land, you'll see that the market window smoke comfortably lands in the window. If they try to jump out, you'll see their feet, and the market door smoke lands just as good. And there you go. There's 2 more smokes you guys can add to your guys' arsenal. I made a really big mistake in one of my first videos that I uploaded, which was that I explained the B pathing wrong because I forgot to explain that fast arch smokes are supposed to go with it. Show this video to a teammate because you do need 1 person to throw a smoke with you. So the first arch smoke is right here into this corner. Aim like so and jump throw. And then the second one is you line up like so. It's a very loose lineup. Aim right here and then jump throw. Now with both of these smokes, we're going to get fast arch smokes, and then the entry pathing video that I showed you will now apply because both of the arches are smoked, and I completely forgot to mention this in the video. But now, again, let's take it from the top. When you jump out, you're going to come this way, and you can look towards sight, and now we no longer have to worry about this. Everybody should know the basic lineup to throw a CT smoke by this point, but I'm just going to show you exactly why this smoke is actually better than you think, and we're going to go ahead and go over here. Now, once the smoke lands, you may see that it smokes CT off, but this smoke actually leaves a nice little gap in the top right of the smoke so that if anybody's boosted, you're going to be able to see them a lot easier, and it makes clearing the boost a lot easier. As you can see, he's completely visible. And the reason that this smoke is actually better than some of the other lineups that you may have seen is because you'll see that this smoke lands outwards a little bit, and clearing the boost is nearly impossible. In fact, you have to go all the way up here, and when you're up here, you're exposed to all of sight. The next time you throw the CT smoke, just remember to check the boost. This smoke is one of the most important smokes on all of Inferno, and I'm going to quickly show you how to throw it from a bunch of different positions. The first one is really easy to throw. You're just going to come line up like so, aim at the flower pot like this, and left click, and it's going to be an easy moto smoke for you. This is the one that everybody probably knows, leaves no gaps as you can see. The next one that I'm going to show you is actually good if you want to fake, or if you don't remember the other moto smoke because it's hard to remember. You're going to line up with the barrels like so, aim here, and jump throw, and this is going to smoke off moto just like the other one. Personally, I like to throw this one more. It's also possible to throw this smoke from alt mid, and to do this, it's very simple. You're going to line up with the pipe like this, and aim above the railing right here on this stain, and then jump throw, and this will also smoke off moto. Everybody knows this smoke, but I'm going to include it in the list. You can smoke moto from pit by coming into the corner, aiming at the lamp, and jump throwing, and it's a really good one to know. Following that up, you can also smoke moto from mini pit if you line up with the flower pot that's on the ground like this. Stay crouched and aim at this dot, and when you left click, it's going to just nearly miss the top and smoke off moto perfectly. The next smoke is from cold, and this one's really easy. A lot of people know this one. You're going to crouch here, you're going to aim at this screw right here, and left click. This one's going to leave you a nice moto smoke with no gaps. Even though it looks like they can see you through this part, they actually can't. And there you go. That's how you smoke moto from everywhere. And now there's no more excuses for your moto smokes to have gaps in them. This is one of the strongest one-way smokes in all of Counter-Strike, and it's extremely strong for multiple reasons. This smoke is super easy to throw, and all you have to do is you're going to line up in this bench when you're coming out of CT spawn, put your crosshair right here, and just left click the smoke. This smoke is called the Furia one-way, and I see every pro team use it. And the reason it's so strong is because it creates this crazy one way for your opera to peek towards top car. As you could see earlier, I put a bot there, but you couldn't see. I'm going to put him again. He's not there. You can barely just see the tip of the op. Extremely strong. And most importantly, it puts out the car molly that the T's throw every round. So your opera will be able to use this regardless. And if the other team knows about this smoke, there's one more cool thing that you can do with it. And that's that even if they know that's coming, you can still peek in front of the smoke, and this will catch them off if they're expecting you to be behind the one way. So yeah, this smoke is very strong, and I highly recommend that you try this next game. Graveyard is one of the strongest spots in all of Counter-Strike, but a lot of people actually mess this spot up, and I'm going to show you why. A lot of people try to hide in Graveyard. They try to just hide from lane, but one of the biggest mistakes that they make is while they're hiding from lane, they're still exposed to apps, and many people that are in apps are going to be able to see you. They're going to be able to kill you without you even seeing them. So to make sure that we never make this mistake again, I'm going to quickly show you a lineup so that you'll never be spotted from apartments again. And all you have to do is while you come into Graveyard, you're going to aim at this step like this, and you should never get spotted again. You'll be able to uncrouch and peek towards lane and towards apps, and you'll be able to sit here, look left or right, and your gun won't show. So that's how you'll never get spotted at Graveyard again. And the only way for them to kill you would be to come out all the way and expose themselves to all your teammates. Make sure you don't mess this up next time. A lot of people know Ancient for its glitch mollies or its magic mollies, whichever you may call them, and you might not know that there's actually glitch mollies on every map, and today I'm going to show you one on Inferno that's actually pretty useful. And in order to throw it, you're going to get stuck into this corner in alt mid. You're going to aim right here to the right of this dot and the railing of the door and tap W jump throw. And what's going to happen here is it's going to fly all the way through and land in arch. This molly's really good if there's an opera in towards arch and you want to rush him off because he can't fall into arch without taking damage. And if you dinked him or anything like that, he'll just be stuck and he'll die. So I recommend that you try this at least one time in a future Inferno game. Who knows, it might just catch somebody off. I've had a lot of people tell me that this spot's not that good because they always die without seeing anybody. And the reason that that's happening is because they're actually playing it wrong. If you've stood right here before, you may have thought that you've just gotten completely owned because you can't even shoot back at somebody. And you may think that that's just because it's an obvious spot. And it kind of is, but the reason that you're getting killed without people people seeing you is because when people come here, they can see you right before you see them. Like clearly, as you saw, I could not see this corner, and they can one tap you. They can straight up one tap without you even seeing it. Like again, look, I can't see this corner. I can't see it at all, and they can see my head. So the next time you want to play Cubby, make sure you're playing on this side, and that won't happen anymore. This is one of the most consistent spam lineups that I know, and I used it on my stream a few times the other day, and here were the results. Works every time.
There's a Tron.
It works every time, bro.
I'm flashing T-step, watch out.
It works every time. As you can see, it worked both times that I tried for it, and I'm not even the A player. I'm going to show you the lineup. It's really easy. So whenever mid is smoked, so it's just smoked right here, you're going to come into this corner right here, aim across from these bricks, like, you know, these ones right here, and aim down like in this area. You know, you got to be a little generous. You'll start to get the idea and just start spamming, and what's going to happen is it's going to spam in towards T steps like so, and a lot of people that are coming up from T steps or out of banana will get spammed by this. The spam works a surprising amount of times, which I'm actually surprised about, but yeah, make sure you guys try this out. There's this really cool Inferno pop flash that you guys may have seen a couple of people use before, and it's basically just a self pop flash. I'm going to show you the lineup. Basically, whenever you're stuck in towards second and you know they're about to execute, you just put your crosshair right here, and you wait, and when you hear them coming in, you're going to throw it. It'll get stuck like so, and it should blind everybody coming in, and it's extremely difficult for the other team to spot, as you can see. Let me turn off the tracers. Okay, so now we're going to look at it without the tracers. We're coming in here, and there goes the flash. Barely even saw it, and I'm getting full blind. So next time you're on B site by yourself, try this flash out and see if it gets any kills for you. It's very good, and you don't even really get blind yourself, because when you throw this, you can stare right at it, and for some reason, the game just doesn't recognize this as a flashbang, so it's really good for peeking with. The only spot that I found that doesn't get blind is when people jump up on top right here. It actually does get blocked by this pillar, but as long as you know that that spot won't be blind and you peek on the people that will be, you shouldn't have too much trouble. Definitely one of the better pop flashes. And here's a trick to take solo banana every single round, and if you guys use this, I promise you guys will rank up. It's very strong. It works at the high levels all the time. I've actually used this at LAN events. I'm going to show you really quickly, and what you're going to do is you're going to come in here, aim right here. It's a little bit difficult to spot, so make sure you guys go on the offline server to see it. Jump, throw the smoke, and while you're running up, you can molly car, or you could have asked one of your teammates to throw the molly car. Once car is mollied and the fanatic smoke is up, you're going to see it's very difficult for the CTs to find anywhere to play. There's only one spot for them really realistically to fight you while you're taking top car, and that's on top sandbagged, and of course that can be taken out with a half wall flash. If you guys don't know this, here's the half wall flash, and then boom, you've got top banana every single round here. It's gonna be really difficult for the CTs to find a solution, especially in the lower ranks. It's very strong. I can say with 99% certainty, if you throw these grenades, you should get banana every single time. They might retake it later on, but if they do, that's just Counter-Strike, unfortunately. Everybody knows about the silent stairs jump on Mirage, but not a lot of people know that you can actually silent jump onto top second as well. Very useful in situations where you have to fall back. For example, let's say you get pushed back banana, you get to safely jump up to oranges, but you want to go to second oranges because you know that that spot's a little bit better, but you know it makes noise, so you're like, well, I can't go there. Well, actually, there's a way to do it without making noise, and it's the same technique as doing the silent stairs jump. All you have to do is jump over, and right before you land, press S, and it should sound like this. And now I'm on top second, and the other team shouldn't even know that I made it up here, and it's pretty good. I use it all the time when I play B-Site, which I play B-Site every single time we play Inferno. I literally just finished recording the video for the top second silent jump, and I remember that there's actually a faster way to boost on top of second oranges or new box. They're much faster than the normal ways, and they both involve using this fountain. Me and my teammate used this for a long time. It's a very efficient way to get up onto top new box and second oranges. You guys can probably already see what's happening here, but if you just have a teammate stand here, you can get up here without having to do the entire crouch boost thing. It works for second oranges as well. Also very effective because you can just jump up here very silently, very quickly. Nobody has to crouch. It doesn't waste any time. Have you guys ever seen this overpowered save spot before? Popularized by Guardian back in the day. I don't really remember how long ago it was now since I've been playing this game. I'm an old man. Guardian used to play right here in the flower pot, and he would hide like this. And basically the point is that whenever people are coming out, it's very difficult for them to see you immediately. As you can see, the flowers do a really good job at covering the CT model. You guys could go ahead and try this one out, but if you guys think that this one's a little too obvious for the better players, the people that are like, oh, this one's obvious, I've been clearing this into 1.6. Well, there's actually another version of it. You can play the exact same idea right here in CT, a little bit farther back, but it does the exact same thing. It's a lot more unexpected. They'll clear library and you'll be killing them before they know it. Try this next time you want to get a couple of cheeky exits and make the other team type at you. Definitely worth it. I'm about to show you guys a trick that's going to get you guys so many kills on Inferno, and it's going to be really easy. It's actually a glitch with the sound on this map. So if you guys have ever been in Inferno apartments and you've taken a couple shots and you want to make it sound like you've left, you can actually jump on the opposite side of this railing like this, and it makes the sound as if you dropped on the concrete below. So let's just hear that again. That's the concrete sound. This is what it should sound like if you land on top of this. Very different sound. So if you jump up here it makes it sound like you fell down, and then you can just wait here for somebody to walk back into apps because he thinks that you left, and then you'll get a nice free kill, and then you can thank Austin for showing you this tip that he definitely knew on his own and didn't steal from his teammate. You may have seen a bunch of different fancy lineups to smoke top car off. For example, I used to know one from way over here, and that was just way too complicated because I've actually learned a way to smoke top car off on the run, so it's very easy to do. As you're coming out, you're just going to aim at the left side of this left chimney. Very loose lineup, doesn't really matter exactly where you're standing. As long as you don't hit this wall, you're going to be good, and then you're just going to go ahead and run and jump throw out of spawn. Now what's going to happen is the smoke is going to cover off top car perfectly, and you may not know why you would want to throw the smoke, so I'm going to quickly tell you why. On the T side, it can be extremely difficult, especially if you're given a bad spawn, to get into banana without having to deal with annoying op picks or eating util damage, and this smoke will actually make it very difficult for the CTs to push through because coming through smokes in this game is extremely hard. I will say that even if you do smoke top car, that's not a foolproof way to stop the CTs from taking banana control, but it will make it a lot easier because they have to come through the smoke, because going through smokes is scary. There's a pretty good chance that it actually will dissuade them and they'll end up conceding banana. Now a lot of you guys have probably seen some of the cooler flashes on Inferno, but have you guys seen the chimney flash? Okay, the answer should be yes, but if you haven't, the chimney flash is really easy. You're just going to line up over here, make sure we can see the chimney, and then throw. The point of this flash being, of course, it does blind off pit right here, this angle on the left, as well as some various angles on site, like maybe back here, and also it could half blind a guy in moto as well. But there is actually a better version of the flash that you can throw. I'll go ahead and show you, as this is the lineup that the pros are going to throw. They're going to come over here into this corner, so we're going to line up on the roof like so. We're going to look for the bottom left window pane here and see where the bar crosses like so. I zoomed in so you can understand, and then jump throw. Now what's going to happen is this flash is going to go a little bit deeper than the other one would. The other one just came out here, and the difference being is that now this flash will actually cover off some more angles into the site here. So if anyone's playing back here, even somebody playing like maybe like this angle right here will be getting blind by this flash, and yeah, it's just a little bit better and it's a little bit stronger. I don't think I've ever actually shown the retake utility for B site, so I'm going to go ahead and quickly show you 3 Molotovs that I think will help you in retaking, starting with a new box Molotov. Now, if CT is smoked, it's pretty simple to throw a new box molly. What you're going to do is, once you're standing behind, pretty much in front of this B anywhere, is you're going to look for this window like this, the top right of the window, and then run throw. It'll bounce off and molly new box perfectly every single time. So dark, emo, whatever you want to call it. You get into this corner in construction, aim here, and you're going to run and jump throw when you cross the wood. So it'll look like this. And as you can see, we're going to get a nice Molotov for dark, and this will also get the pillar as well. The last one's actually for pool. Now, you guys may be confused, why would we want to molly pool? Well, the reason could be any reason, obviously. It's a very common angle for people to play. We want to make sure with the pool molly that we get this entire area. We're not too concerned about them playing up here because this spot isn't really that good. A pool molly is just as simple as this. You're going to look for this sign, see it, you're going to run throw. It's going to bounce perfectly into pool, and it's going to go ahead and get this angle. It actually does still get this spot because of where the Molotov lands. There you go. I'm going to quickly run through 2 utility sets that you absolutely need to know for your next Inferno pug. We're going to go ahead and start quickly. Now, this one is a CT smoke and a new box Molotov from the same spot. So basically, you're going to get in this corner just like a regular new box molly. You're going to look for this right here, this stain above the wolf. You're going to jump throw the smoke for CT, and then you're going to go ahead and throw the regular new box molly. Now, the other utility set that you're going to throw at the same time with your teammate, you're going to have somebody come stand right here. He's going to aim right here at the shadow like this. He's going to jump throw, and then he's going to aim up, straight up like this, and he's going to go ahead and jump throw his molly. Now, what's going to happen is we're going to get a Molotov for second oranges, regular oranges at the same time. These 2 Molotovs, this entire left side of the site will be flushed out, or they have to smoke themselves. And of course, it is a perfect coffin smoke and a perfect CT smoke. The last molly that you can throw from this spot is actually a dark molly. So if you have one more person that's with you, you can actually have them molly dark like this, which we've already shown before. But then they can throw the entry flash, and we can make sure we get in here. And that's just a little bit of, that's a quick little execute that you could throw. I'm going to show you how to take bracket on Inferno pretty much every single time, and you could do this almost by yourself. You might need one more person to go with you just to be safe. Out of spawn, you can get into this corner quickly. You're going to aim right here at this pole. You're going to jump throw. This is of course 128 tick. Then what you're going to do is you're going to run up here. You're going to aim straight up while you're running and jump throw when you cross the roof like this, so it'll look something like this. Now what's happened here is we've actually thrown a Molotov for balcony, lane, and also we've thrown an arch smoke. Now this Molotov will sometimes land on the roof and it will sometimes land down here. So results may vary. If you want to get a little bit of a more precise lineup, you can go ahead and try that out on your own. But here's one that lands towards lane. Now, the last thing that you would need to do before you come up is we want to make sure we throw this flash, because if there's anyone opping mid, like this angle, this flash will take care of him, so that way you don't get opped like an absolute idiot. And if you don't have a flash, what you can do is you can bait the op out like this by jumping up from up high. If anybody is opping this angle, they're going to be like, oh my god. And the reason I said that you might need a teammate is because it was always nice to have one teammate that throws a flash for you. A long time ago on my channel, I actually showed a lurk smoke that you could throw from apartments, and if you haven't seen it, here it is. You can slow down the video if you would like to look at that again. But basically, this smoke obviously lets you come out apartments, fight the pit guy, and also you have a one-way if you jump up here. And so yeah, there you go. In the later half of 2018, early 2019, Astralis actually started throwing a different version of this smoke where they were lining up like this in the middle, anywhere here, very loose lineup, and then aiming like so and run throwing. And the smoke was basically smoking off apps for us. And the reason they were throwing this is because it actually stops the person from on top of balcony from seeing lane. So when people try to creep up lane, obviously this angle is very strong for the CTs, so this smokes that off. And also it lets us do things in apps that we couldn't normally do. So now I'm able to throw a pit molly, and I can also flash out for my team potentially, or I can even jump out into mini pit myself. There's a lot of things that I can do, just something different, and it will catch people off. There's just a little bit of something that you could try in your next Inferno game, or maybe if you're playing on a team in your next Inferno scrim, you never know. There's a lot of boosts on this map, but everybody already knows about the Olaf boost and all the controversy, and recently I made a video about 4 boosts on A site, so I'm going to follow that up with 4 boosts on B site, starting with this one. If you jump up here, you can actually just have somebody jump up right away. So you stand on the bottom sandbag, you can come up here, and you don't even have to crouch. You could just jump up right on their head. This is the first boost. Everybody knows about this one though, so we'll go ahead and do this one. Again, if you just have somebody stand here, you could just come up here, jump on their head, and you can look in towards the short from here, and also see connector. Follow that one up quickly with the boost on top default. This one's more common in the modern era of having door blown off every round. If you guys don't already do that, make sure you guys do nade open the connector door. It gives you a lot of info. This boost is really strong. It gets people in the mid round when they're rotating down or rotating up. Pretty free kill. And then I got one more, which is right here back in graffiti. You've probably seen this one before, maybe on pistol round, maybe on retakes. This one's pretty good. You can hold from back monster, you can hold short, you can see pretty much everything, and it's very good. I highly recommend trying out at least one of these boosts in your next overpass game. I'm willing to bet that almost 100% of newer players don't know that you can get up here on overpass. A lot of you guys are probably thinking, well, yeah, that boost is cool, but it doesn't seem like it's that useful, but I'm going to show you why you're wrong. Basically, as long as you have a smoke down in towards the back of connector, it won't be too big of an issue for you to get up here like so, look for this corner, and then jump around like so you get stuck on this corner, and then you'll be able to jump up here for free, and once the smoke fades, you'll be completely hidden up here. I'll never even know, unless he of course shoots at me, that there was a person up in this corner. I will admit that this spot's pretty difficult to get in, and I would be lying to you if I said that I could do this every single try. It's pretty difficult, but once you understand the trick, it's actually not that bad, although the trick is practice. There's no lineup. You guys are on your own for this, okay? I'm only just telling you that it's possible. I'm not really going to be able to tell you how it's done. Have you guys ever seen the molly that goes from B site on overpass all the way up to A site before? If you're anything like me and you guys play the game a lot, then you guys probably are already aware of this one. But for those of you guys that don't know, all you're going to do is you're going to jump up here, just like this, anywhere in this area right here. You're going to aim right here, and you're going to walk, take half a step, and jump throw. And it looks like this if you do it right. And what this will do is it's going to land all the way on default like this, and it could deny a plant, especially if they only have a few seconds left, or if the bomb plant is low. It'll get a kill, and it could win your team the round, and you won't even be on the same side as them. There's only one angle in all of CSGO that I would say guarantees you one free kill, and it's this one that I'm about to show you right now in overpass. If you've ever been up in party up here like so, and you have the time to get stuck in this corner under the light like this, you guys are now in the strongest angle in the game, and I'm going to show you why. They're going to peek towards party, and then once they deem party clear, fountain clear, they're going to go take long. But what you guys may have just noticed is that most people don't clear this angle because they forget it exists. I'd say this angle is pretty much a free kill every time you play it, and I've killed so many people from this angle just because people don't check it. The one other thing that may happen is people may walk up here and not see you, and when that happens, you'll be able to calmly turn, take them out, and then peek out to get one more. And one of the other things that's really common is that you'll hear the T's rush towards long, and then you'll be able to quickly flank them. If you guys disagree, feel free to let me know in the comments, but in my experience, this is probably the strongest angle in the game. There's a lot of broken things in CSGO, but there's nothing quite like the bug that I'm about to show you. There's a little known bug in the game with the benches on overpass, and that's only because there's not a lot of benches in the game. As a matter of fact, there's only one bench that this works on in the entire game, and it's this bench right here at long. So let's just say you're playing here, you get spotted, and now you're going to throw this smoke. Really easy to throw. You're just going to bounce it back like so. The bench does not even know that there's a smoke there, so I can still see you right through the bench. Now you can sit here, and if anybody crosses the bench line, you'll be able to see them and spam them. It's another one of those things in CS that's extremely situational, but if you know it, it could just win your team the round. As you can see, it's a lot easier than it looks. There's a pretty good chance that you guys have been doing this wrong your entire career. Today I'm going to give you guys a definitive guide on how to drop out of connector into short without making any noise. So when you're coming out, you may have seen teammates, or maybe you do this yourself, do something like this. because they think that you have to use the sign in order to get down, which does work. It does work. You can technically use the sign, but you have to know how to do it. But it's a little bit more complicated and unnecessary because it's way easier just to do it like this. So for those of you guys that have never seen this, make sure you guys jump up over the railing where this big mound of garbage is. Come over, drop, and you've made no noise going into short. You don't even have to look at it once you get good at it, so you could continue looking at short the entire time you're doing it, and you make no noise, because I've just been playing for so long and I'm here to spread the knowledge. If you guys have ever come out monster and you guys have seen this smoke, you guys may know that it's a pain to deal with because you can't just come up here and go through it. Pretty much put the halt to the T rush because they have to go through the smoke, and that's just not going to go well, or they have to go around, but when they go around, they're getting shot from pit, they're getting shot from short, they're getting shot from graffiti. There's just so many angles here that they just can't possibly deal with, and even if they were to get around the pillar, then the person playing barrels is still going to get a lot of damage done. If you play beyond overpass, and you definitely need to know the smoke. It's very strong. All you have to do to line it up is you're going to line up with this crack against the back wall like so, and then you're going to look for this stain right here on the barrel, and when you find it, you're just going to left click. So now the next time you know that they're coming out, you can throw this smoke and you can try to stay alive. The barrel's molly will not get put out by this. It's okay because you can come up a little closer to the pillar, or you can still fall away to pit. That's still a really good smoke to play from over here. Jump spot right here. So if you guys didn't know, there's a little wall above your head right here that you'll hit your head on. So what I like to do, line up the smoke, and then I would jump spot. And while I was jump spotting, I was looking over towards here. So if I ever saw anybody, I could throw it, and then I'd be in a position to deal with the entire rush. A lot of people know that you can get up on top of these grates on overpass, but I've seen more times than I can count people failing to try to jump up here. I'm going to show you guys how to do it. It's really easy once you know it. You don't have to do it in a specific spot. Anywhere on the grate, not the middle part, not the end parts, but anywhere on the actual metal beams, you can just jump up. So all you do is you're going to run, and then you're going to jump, and you're going to keep holding W and only W. You don't have to hold space. You don't have to hold anything. Just W after you jump, and if you keep holding it, eventually you'll get stuck, and then you're on top of the grate. You're fully accurate from here, and it's a really strong position. You could try it on this side to see towards monster, or if you want to play a little bit safer, you could try it on the other side as well. Definitely worth knowing if you're an overpass B player. I was watching a fellow YouTuber Wraith's video not that long ago, and I saw this crazy trick that he showed. So there's actually a way to see through default. It's really easy. So let's just imagine we're in a 1v1 against somebody and heaven's smoked, and we want to get some quick info. We can come up on the right side of the wood here, and once we get up and we start surfing up the wall, we can go to the left, and as you can see, once we get to this part right here, we can actually see through the wood here, and if we scope up, we can see somebody. You can't shoot through this, but it's okay because just seeing them is enough because you could jump up and immediately just kill them. It also does wallbang with the up. It does about 45 damage. I tested it earlier. It's about time that you guys stop messing up this boost. It's really easy to do. The coffee can boost, as we call it, but we're going to come up along the wall here, and we're going to be able to just walk on this pixel. There's a pixel that you can walk on here. It's really easy to do. You're going to walk like this, and when you do that, you're going to come and line up on the corner of this coffee cup like so. As you can see, it's the brown thing. And when you do that, you just stand here. And in order to jump up, I see a lot of people mess up this jump. It's really easy. You don't walk on the pixel to try to jump on their head. You jump from on top of the bar like so. And you just are able to get up. You can see towards pillar, barrels, and if you can even see somebody on the grate. If you guys saw the video on that, I did make a video on this spot not that long ago. If you haven't seen it, there's going to be a card in the top right for you to check out. So hopefully you guys won't mess it up again. If you guys learned something from this tip, make sure you guys come check it out. But we're going to go ahead and get right into it. I'm going to show you guys 4 boosts on overpass A site, starting with the map boost, and this one's really easy. Once you just get into this corner, have your teammate boost you up, and when you get up here, you'll be able to see in towards bathroom, see down here, and it's pretty strong. Again, if they come up from divider, he's up here, and if you come in from bathrooms, he's right here. Very hard to see him. The next boost is really easy as well. It's actually a boost from back here, and this one obviously you guys may have seen before. This one you can hold from here, here, here. A nice little one to catch them off guard. It's good for retakes as well. I've got another one for you as well. This one is actually from bank, so if you guys ever wanted to peek towards long, you can sit back here and you guys can hold for long, and it also can hold towards divider. Pretty good boost overall. And the last one is actually right here. If you boost up behind the truck, you'll get a nice angle to hold towards long or towards front bath. This one's actually probably the best one, the one you're most likely to get kills with. As you can see, if you're coming from the site, this guy on top truck is actually very difficult to see. On overpass, there's 2 very important Molotovs that you guys may have seen the pros throw, and this is the mollies that land over here towards the fountain. There's one that lands here, and there's one that lands here. I'm going to quickly show you how to throw both of those, and the first one is as you're coming out of spawn, you're going to try to line up as best you can in the middle of this without looking, and you're going to run and aim right here, and you're going to jump though when your screen crosses this bench, and if you do it right, it should look a little bit something like this. And you'll get a Molotov that lands nicely at the fountain here. They can't go around it, so they'll have to smoke it or they'll have to take damage. And then the next one is really easy as well. Really easy. You're just going to aim to the left of the grass as you're running here, and you're going to aim over towards here. I don't really know how to explain it, but you're just going to aim to the height of this grass over to here, and you're going to throw when you cross the second divider. So if you do it, it'll look a little something like this, and this Molotov's going to land right here in towards playground, and now they can't come into playground without taking damage, and it's really good if you combine them. I've been uploading on my channel for quite some time, and you guys are probably already starting to think, it's been a while since we've seen a one-way. Well, don't worry, I've got more. Now, today I'm going to show you guys a one-way that you can use on CT side or T side. So let's just say we're on CT side, and we're about to defuse the bomb. It's a classic 1v1 on overpass where there's bomb here, and there's terrorists playing divider. You can throw the smoke for bomb, but then on top of that, you can jump on top of dice, and you get this crazy one-way to hold towards divider, and you guys are probably like, well, that doesn't seem like a one-way to me. Then you come over here, and you're like, I see. That can be really difficult to see this guy's head sometimes. It's a very strong one-way, and I've been caught off with it many times. I wanted to make sure you guys remember that this smoke can be used on CT side as well. Let's say you're just opping and you're jump spotting and you see somebody, you could throw a variation of the smoke that lands like this, and then you can jump up on top and play it, and the oppers will absolutely love this one. You can give up here and just peek up and get a kill. Very strong. I feel like not a lot of people actually know how to throw ace smokes on overpass, so today I'm going to show you guys how to smoke off what I call jump up, or maybe trash can, depending, and bank from divider. It's really easy to do, so we'll start with the easy one, the one that people actually miss the most somehow, and it's jump up. You're going to line up on top of the bench in the center, and then you're going to aim at the girl's head. Everybody gets it confused. They don't know which head to aim at. It's the girl's head. And then when you aim here, you're just going to left click, and you're going to get a nice smoke that smokes off jump up. No gaps, of course, and it's really good. But you guys probably knew that one, so I'm going to show you guys the bank smoke. This one's a little bit harder. You're going to come from back here. You're going to line up right here as best as you can, and then you're going to aim at the top of the W, like so, the top in the middle, and then you're going to jump throw. And when you do that, you're going to get a bank smoke. It's going to barely miss all these gaps here, and it's going to smoke off bank. Now, I remember, there's always going to be somewhat of a gap on this right side. A wise man named Apex once taught me this, that if there's a gap in a smoke and we know it's going to be there, we could just spam it every single time and it won't be an issue. There's a little bit of a sneaky spot on Vertigo that you guys may know about. It's called 51, and I don't know why it's called 51. I've actually never figured that out, but it's really easy to get here. If they ever smoke off side hall, you just jump through the smoke like this, and hopefully you don't mess it up. It takes a little bit of practice. I'll leave it up the time that I messed up in the video just to show you that I'm not perfect. If you jump through the smoke, you'll be able to get stuck here, and they won't know you're here. They might hear you, but if your teammates flash for you like they should be fine. Now there's a guy sitting 51. He's there. We can't see him. Yes, we could spam him, but that's cheating because we know he's there. And you can walk all the way up towards the top of the ramp, and you won't even know he's there unless you come up here and purposefully look for him, which now I'm sure most of you guys will. But it's a very strong spot, and what's going to end up happening is they're going to get all the way up here. They're going to start executing a site, and once they start executing a site, that's when you'll be able to step out, review yourself with the clip, and immediately rage quit. You'll go to Austin's YouTube comments and type, Austin, this spot sucks. They checked for me. You don't even know what you're talking about. I almost guarantee that you didn't know that Vertigo had this secret spot. There's not a lot of good places to save on Vertigo because the map is so small. The spot's actually at the bottom of the elevator shaft. Normally when you drop down the elevator shaft, bad things happen. But there's actually a way to get down the elevator shaft and not die, and you'll be able to save your guns here. It's really easy to get up here. All you have to do is just find this piece of metal, and you want to land on the opposite side of it as you're falling. So when you do this, you're going to jump around, and you're going to fall while holding into this corner, and you're going to get stuck down here. As you can see, I took a lot of damage, but I'm completely safe down here. Nobody will think to check for me as long as they don't know this exists. It's completely legal. You can use it as long as you're not playing in any tournament. It's legal on Face It. It's legal on matchmaking. You won't get in trouble. It's not a bannable spot. There's a lot of tricks in this game that I do every day without thinking of that I know that most of you guys have never even seen before or even thought about before. And today I'm going to show you how to go up the ladders quickly and also quietly. Most people go up ladders like this. You may think, but I'm not one of those guys. I know that that's not how you do it. Okay, sure. So you go up the ladder like this. Fine, that's faster, but it still makes a lot of noise. And on a map like Vertigo, we just don't want to give up that information because I'm literally right next to where the CTs play. The way to go up the ladder silently is just as simple as doing it the way that we just did. So normally we would press W and D to go up. So what we're going to do this time is we're going to tap WD as fast as we can, and we're going to get up the ladder fast and quick at the same time. As long as we don't land like I just did at the top, it'll be completely silent. Many of you guys are really new to Vertigo, and so today I'm going to show you guys the most essential smoke on the entire map, and it's the ramp smoke. Very quickly, what you're going to do is out of spawn, you're going to come up and line up right here on this piece of wood, aim right here, and once you do that, you're going to run and then let go when you cross the light like this, and when you do that, it's going to look like this, and what's going to end up happening is, of course, it's going to smoke off ramp as you would expect it to, but the thing is that this is the most consistent lineup to do it quickly. You've seen a lot of people that have done it, like, you know, lining up back here, and that's fine too, but this is a little bit faster, and once you get good at throwing this this lineup, you'll just be able to run up here and throw it like this, and that's pretty much how I do it every single time, and it lands pretty consistently. So the next time you're playing Vertigo, you guys can go ahead and smoke ramp. Vertigo's been in the map pool for almost 3 years, and there's still people that refuse to learn the lineups on this map. I'm going to quickly run you guys through the 3 essential things you need to know on this map, and we're going to start with the left side smoke. This one's really easy. You're going to get stuck in the sandbags, aim right here, and then jump throw. That'll smoke off left side. To smoke off right side, you're going to come up here until you see this orange little square box like so, like the rectangle, and you're just going to left click at it. And then you're going to get the cross smokes onto sight. It should be good to go. And then the next thing you need to know is a headshot molly. So you're just going to come up here and aim like this, and this is going to molly off headshot. Very, very consistent. If you want it to go a little deeper, you can, but just be careful that it doesn't go too deep. Otherwise, you might end up leaving a gap. So just be careful with that. And then the last thing you need to know is the good flash, the God flash. You're going to come right here, aim like so, and when you're aiming here, you jump throw, and it lands behind this pillar so that anybody scaling up on sight won't get blind with it. So it's a really good flash, and that's how you execute the ace sight. There's plenty of really cringe one ways that I know that I've shown on my channel already, and today I'm going to show you guys one on Vertigo that I really like to use. Somewhat of a crutch for me on side haul, but I'm going to quickly show you. So once you've established that you have ramp control, however that may be, and once you get to here and you've cleared ramp and everything, what you're going to do is you're going to line up like this, up against this back wall in front of this line, aim right here, and then right click your smoke, and what's going to end up happening is you're going to get this crazy one way that doesn't even look like it's a one way. You're probably thinking right now, there's just no shot this is a one way. Well, it is. We're going to go to the bottom of ramp right now, and you're going to see that it's actually impossible to see them, even though, as we saw, they have a gigantic gap to see you through. There's just literally no way that they're ever going to spot you until the smoke starts to fade. So yeah, make sure you guys try this out in your next Vertigo games. It's very, very strong. I don't really like to show off one ways that much. Okay, who am I kidding? Of course I love to show off one ways. It's my favorite thing in the game. But there's actually this really cool one way that you can throw in middle on Vertigo. And basically, all you do is you stand up here on top of the yellow, and as soon as you think they're coming, you're just going to go ahead and right click the smoke underneath you. And of course, this is going to lead you this nice one way over the top. Again, you might be thinking that this doesn't really look like it's a one way, but when you come from the other side, it's extremely difficult for them to spot you because you're up against the wall. And now, a trained eye will see that there is somebody up at the top, but that's alright, because most of the time you'll be fine anyway. It shouldn't make that big of a difference. And of course, you could always play the other side and try crouching. This side will work just as well. This one's even harder to see. Very strong one way. I've died to it a million times. There's actually a Molotov that's been breaking Vertigo since its release, and there's actually been a lot of updates from Valve trying to fix this very molly. You guys already may know the molly that I'm talking about. It's a Molotov that goes through the floor over here. As you can see, we'll watch it come in. It's a Molotov that goes in through the floor. It lands on the other side of the wall, and more importantly, it blocks off this entrance into B, so we can't even go towards B because there's fire through the floor. If you've never seen this before, your mind's probably blown right now, but this Molotov is absolutely broken because the timing, it does actually matter, because when you try to come towards B, you can't cross this line without taking damage. And basically, in order to throw it, what you're going to do is you're going to come up here at the top of, you're going to come up to the top of this right here, and when you find that, you're going to aim at this shadow like so, and when you aim at this shadow, you're actually going to then go to a little bit to the left, about like this. So I'm lining up with the bottom of my crosshair. I don't know, you'll have to figure out a line up for your own crosshair. But anyway, once you find this spot, you're going to go ahead and crouch and then jump throw, and when you do that, you're going to get a Molotov that goes in through this glitch area right here, and now as you can see, it's going to land just like we talked about. If you guys have ever been on my stream before, you guys may have seen me throw these flashes on Vertigo, and I'm going to show you exactly what they do. It's a flash from mid, so I'll tell my team, I'll be like, guys, go rush B, I'm going to lurk mid, and then they're like, oh, but aren't you baiting? Yes, of course I'm baiting, but I'm baiting for a reason, and it's because I need to come and throw the God flash for you. What happens is you're going to line up here out of spawn. I prefer to line up with these line of dots right here. You can make sure, it doesn't really matter though, as long as you're aiming at this height and you don't hit this pillar. Not a lot to look at, but it's a feeling thing. Once you understand how you throw it, it's going to be very easy for you. And then when your teammates get to the top of the stairs like this, that's when you're going to throw the flash. You're going to throw the flash like this, and then what's going to happen is the flash is going to come through mid, and it's going to pop right up here, and you guys are thinking, well, it's a little bit short. No, it's not. If we're playing towards default here, as you can see, it just barely comes over the edge, and it completely blinds them. And the best part about this flash is that it actually isn't going to blind your team at all. So when your team comes in, they can scale up this way, like they're supposed to, by the way. They should take the correct path, not this way. Stop going this way. I just recently made a couple of videos called 4 boosts on Overpass A site, and now I'm going to show you guys a couple of boosts on Inferno A site. Okay, so the first boost is obviously right here. I've seen a lot of people mess this up. You'll just have this nice angle. You can actually get it to be a little bit taller. It just depends on how this guy does originally stand. So, oops. So if we stand up here, now I can see the sandbags. The only thing that be careful about with this one is that it's actually possible for them to see you, depending on if they're ready for you or not. So you could die before you even see somebody. So just keep that in mind. The next one is a side haul boost. So the way I like to do this is I like to have one guy stand and line up with this box like so. That way that the other guy has room to jump up on their head, and then you can have this boost. So the boost is like this, and when you boost here, you're actually going to be able to see all the side halls, so they can't even sneak up on you, and you'll also have a nice angle towards ramp. This boost is a little bit harder to check. It's most of the time it's going to kill you because most people aren't going to come up here looking like this, and also most people aren't going to come up here looking like this because I'm exposed to a bunch of other things on site. It's a very underutilized boost. It's not anything like mind-blowing or anything, but it's just a boost. I don't think people use this enough. I'm actually surprised I haven't made a video about this yet, but there's a crazy one way that you can throw at the bottom of the ramp, and now you're probably thinking, Austin, you say this every video. You say this every video. There's actually this crazy this. Well, today I actually mean it. There's this crazy one way that you can throw at the bottom of the ramp, and basically in order to do it, you're going to line up in between the bottom like so. And now while we're here, we're going to wait, and when this bottom ramp smoke fades, then we're going to crouch. We're going to find this dot, aim to the left a good bit. I'll give you a second just so you can analyze that while we're zoomed in. And then you're going to left click. And what's going to happen here is the smoke is actually going to go underneath the ramp. You're going to be able to creep up, crouch, and then you're going to be able to stand up in this corner anywhere here. So at the bottom of the ramp here, you can see not a clue. And now we'll come up to the top part where we expect them. And remember where our bot is standing. He's right here. There's no chance you'll see him. And of course, this one way can be played in a bunch of different ways. You can always come over here. And if you come over here, as you can see, I can see the entire sandbags to here. And as you can see yet again, not a chance to see them, and even from up here, not a chance to see them. The other day on my stream, I hit a crazy wall bang, but before I show you the clip, I'd like to show you the wall bang I'm talking about. If you guys have ever seen oppers get smoked off at the bottom of ramp and then start doing a spam like this, well, you're probably thinking, what is that spam for? It's actually for the entirety of the yellow tarp area, and more importantly, it's down for this close left angle here, and I just recorded a video for a one-way, so let me get rid of the bots and put this one here. And if they hit somebody, you can see it doesn't do that much damage, but it does give a sound cue if somebody gets hit. Plus, you'll also be able to see the blood coming through the wall sometimes, not always, and if, as you can see, I just saw it there, and it does give you some good information there. And yeah, the other thing is that it does go up to the top, so if there's an opper peeking down here, you might even be able to hit him. Since it's been changed a little bit, I haven't really been wanting to make too many videos on it, but I actually do know this really cool one way that you can throw in cave for yourself. It's still viable with the current timings. In order to throw the one way, you're just going to get into this corner right here in cave. You're going to crouch, and you're going to look for this corner of the lantern like so, and then when you find it lined up perfectly, you're going to left click. Smoke's going to bounce and get stuck up in this corner, and you're going to have this one way for anybody that tries to come through. The only downside to this is that it's pretty obviously a one way, so people aren't really going to fight this. But if you're in lower ranks, people might get confused and think they can see under it, but they can't, so you'll just kill them for free. I've seen this smoke used in the pro scene a couple of times, but you know, to varying degrees of success. I've had a couple of good rounds with it in practice before, so it definitely could get some value. Not everybody wants to commit to learning spawn house smokes on this map, and I can't blame them, so I'm going to show you 3 ways to smoke off house on Ancient, and it's definitely worth knowing, especially with the current way the Ancient's at. You need to know how to smoke this, and all you're going to do is you're going to come up here against the wall. Anywhere in the center works. You're going to aim right here, and when you do, you're just going to jump throw. It's really easy to remember because it's under this tiny leaf. It's that one right there, and when you do that, you're going to get this nice, beautiful house smoke. Wasting no time, we're going to go ahead and check out the next one. This one's on the other side, so if you get a spawn for B, you're just going to come up and land it like this. You're going to look for this big, gigantic, fat brick right here, and again, if you have trouble remembering that one, it's to the left of this, and it's the fat brick. You're going to aim at the top left of that. Just a quick jump throw, and you're going to see that this also smokes off house perfectly. And then there's one more smoke. This one is worth knowing if you guys ever need to resmoke it mid-round. You're going to line up against a wall like this. Look for this stain on the wall. It's really easy to remember. And when you find it, you're just going to jump throw, and this will also smoke off house perfectly. So there you go. There's 3 ways to smoke off house. Ancient can seem overwhelming if you guys don't already know how to play the map, but I'm going to try to make it a little bit easier for you and explain 2 of the most important smokes and how to throw them. There's a donut smoke that you can throw, and there's a CT smoke that you can throw. I'm going to quickly show you how to throw them both. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do for donut is you're going to line up on this staircase pillar like so. You're going to line up so that your crosshairs in the middle of any of these square boxes. Anyone works. And once you're lined up in the center, you're going to aim, put your crosshair right here. Sometimes I get it confused, but it just takes a little bit of practice. Make sure you guys try it in the offline server yourself. And once you do this, you're going to just go ahead and jump throw. Now remember, this is not a 64 tick lineup. This will only work on 128 ticks, so that's Face It, ESCA, maybe if you play another server. Now I'm going to show you how to smoke off CT. This one's also really easy. You're going to line up against this square right here, and then you're going to look up at the wall, and you're going to look for this big white brick. It's above the flowers. That's how I always remember. And when you find it, you're just going to, again, jump throw. The thing about this CT smoke is that it lands like this, so they're still able to play back default. But don't worry, it's as simple as just throwing a molly off back default. Yes, I missed it once, but it's alright. Now, there has been a really big lack of ancient tips and tricks on my channel, and the reason is because I really just don't like this map anymore. I'm sorry to say it, but since they made the recent changes, it's just not the map that it once was to me. but I still know some things that are still relevant from the old map. Now, this tip is actually very useful, and it can win you a lot of situations on B where you're needing to deal with this long area. Now, you guys may be confused. Well, Austin, it can't be that strong, but it is. And the thing that I'm going to show you is it's really good for oppers. And if you crouch around this corner, you can actually aim through this little corner like this, the one that's cut out in the bricks, and you'll have a nice advantage on people. And it's like impossible to react to this, because as soon as you see somebody through the thing like so, you can immediately kill them. And from their perspective, of course, they don't see you. Like, they see this little tiny little itty bit of you through the gap, and that's it. That's all they see. So you can use this on both sides, and I've actually used it many times back when I used to play this map all the time. Before the map got changed and the spawns were pushed back, there was this play that OC liked to go for where he would come up here with his op, he would make this jump over to here, and he would quickly go for a pick into banana. Now the problem is that back then it was easier because you could molly them, the T's, out of here before they could even peek you with these nice double mollies. The problem is now is that the T's are going to beat those mollies, so you have to find a way around it. So what was the way that Liquid came up with? Well, it's the same plays as I showed in the other ancient video where they were throwing this smoke, and then OC was able to jump up here, and then he was able to go for his play just as before. Now the thing is that you just have to be careful when you're doing these things, because smokes are not walls, and there's a very high chance that you could get killed doing a play like this. Some people don't even know that this jump is possible. Now the thing about it is actually a very difficult jump, and you do need to practice quite a bit. I've been putting in hours into my KC. Today I'm going to show you guys something that you guys probably already know, but there's a chance that some newer players might not know, and people that don't play Ancient, which is that you guys know about this boost spot up here. It's a fantastic spot to play on the A site if you're defending, or maybe even if you're in the post plant, or actually it's even good for when you're executing if you can get somebody up here while you're going in. It's actually not too bad. But I would like to tell you, did you know that you could get up here by yourself, and it's not some fancy jump that you can do where it's glitched. You actually do it really easily by just jumping on top of this sign like so, and then making your way onto the boost spot. Now, the only reason that I think that this is worth bringing up is because it feels like this is one of those things that shouldn't be allowed in any other map. I feel like this would be blocked off, but on Ancient it actually is possible to do this, and it's actually very integral to how the map is played. Now, I would also like to mention that there was a time when this didn't work on this map. There was actually an update made to the map quite some time ago that actually enabled this, because when the map released, this was not possible. So there's still a chance that some people don't know that that update happened, so I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew. Have you ever seen this one-way Molotov on Dust 2? This can be very useful in some post-plant positions on Dust 2, and it's very, very easy to throw. All you have to do is you're going to get up on top of the window, you're going to look for this rock, and just left click throw the molly, and it's going to create this one way. Once you step into the one way, you'll be able to have full vision onto anybody in CT spawn or middle, and they can't see you on the other side. Now I have my friend, he's going to be sitting here in the one way, and I'm going to show you right now. He's there looking right at me, I can't see him at all. I'm going to pull out the op to double scope, and you can see just barely, you can see his legs right before he shoots me. So yeah, it's a very strong one way, and even though Dust 2 is not in the map pool anymore, I know a lot of you guys are still going to be playing it, and you guys are really going to enjoy this one. Even though Dust 2 is not in the map pool anymore, the other day I had somebody in the comments section ask me if I could show them a lineup for a consistent Xbox smoke, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. I have two different ways to smoke Xbox, and they're very easy to remember, and we're going to go ahead and quickly show you. And remember that these are for 128 tick. I don't do 64 tick lineups. A lot of you guys have been asking about that, and these are all for 128 tick. So what you're going to do to smoke Xbox is you're going to come into this corner, you're going to aim right here, above the stain, and jump throw. And when we come over here and see how it landed, as you can see, it perfectly smokes off Xbox. For more experienced players, you guys might find this one easier. You're going to put your crosshair like so while walking into the wall, aim to the left of this stain, and jump throw. Okay, and this will land off and perfectly smoke off Xbox. A lot of people don't actually know some of the more meta smokes on Dust 2. For example, I've seen countless people come up and try to throw the hinge smoke and miss, but I'm going to quickly show you the correct way to throw the hinge smoke. It's very easy. Get stuck in the corner of the door, aim right here. Go ahead and pause if you need to. It's really easy. Put your crosshair here and right click. The smoke will get stuck on the hinge, and you'll be able to make the jump over here to Xbox without getting spotted from middle. And this smoke is very important. It's basically just a better Xbox smoke. And so hopefully now you'll never miss it again. There's actually a really cool boost that you can do to see over the mid to B smoke, and of course for this you need one friend, which some of you guys don't have, and you're going to jump up on his head and get stuck in this corner. And once I remove the bot, I'm up in here in this corner, and if anybody were to smoke mid to B, so just pretend that they smoke mid to B, if they were to smoke mid to B, I'd be able to see them, and for their perspective, they're going to struggle to see me really hard. And even if they know I'm there and I know that there's a bot there, I have to go all the way up here before I can see him. And while I'm doing that, I'm exposed to window, I'm exposed to this angle on B site, and it's overall just really uncomfortable for the T's to deal with. And I recommend that you try this spot out at least once or twice if you're really struggling to hold mid. Did you know that there's actually a ninja position on B site of Dust 2? Not a lot of people actually know about this, but if you come back here and you crouch pull your knife out and go head down. And it's actually really important for you to have your knife out because if you guys didn't know, if you have your knife out or a grenade out, it makes your head smaller. As you can see, whenever they pull their knife or their smoke out, they're significantly smaller than if they don't have it out. So it's very important for you to do this. And I've even gotten this really cool ninja defuse off with this before. No way. And I know that this works because I've used this in 3,000 elo lobbies and it's done pretty well. So yeah, the next time you're on an eco, go ahead and try this out. Did you know that you could get on top of these boxes without getting boosted? All you're going to do this is you're going to get in the corner like so, find this dot, aim right here, and just run forward. And once you get stuck in this corner, you're going to crouch and look this way, hold W and jump. You get stuck up on the second pixel and then you can jump up again. And it's going to be really easy to get up here. You do this without making noise and it's nice. I'm going to quickly show you me doing this as fast as I can. Aim right here again, run forward, stuck, jump up, and we're up. Takes like 5 seconds. Make sure you practice this before you try it in a game, but it's really easy to do, and you should be able to catch your enemies off guard with this. Last night on my stream, I had the pleasure of playing Dust 2 yet again, because it's still in the Face It map pool, and I know a lot of you guys still queue it as well, so I just wanted to show you guys a really cool one-way that my chat was asking me about on stream. So they were coming up long, I saw them, and I immediately turned around and threw a one-way that I know to fight towards long. One-way, now what happens is you're going to see this line, and it's a very loose lineup, you could throw it anywhere. You're going to see this line, you're going to try to get the smoke to land in this general area. So when I saw them, I went like this, I was like, oh, and then I threw the smoke on the wall, and what the smoke allows you to do is it allows you to come over here and fight. Now, if you get it closer to the wall, you'll actually be able to step up on the sandbags and have a nice little one-way to fight towards long. Now, this smoke is actually very strong. Let's go ahead and throw it a little bit better. So if we get it closer to the wall, it'll look a little something like this, and when you come out here to fight, your enemies will pretty much have no chance. Now, you also don't even need to jump on top of the barrels because you can even play behind the barrels and have these like weird little angles where you're just playing around. It's just really overpowered. Now, I had a lot of people that are complaining, yeah, Austin, well, CS2's coming out in a few weeks, so why would I learn this? And honestly, you might as well still continue to learn them while we're playing because you still want to rank up before CS2 comes out. Last night on my stream, I showed this really cool one-way off where I was playing in A main with Mr. Hoppin, and A main was already smoked, but I told him that I know it one-way and it's true. Then this is what happened. Yo, if you boost me right here, Hoppin, it's a one-way.
Okay.
A little more to the left.
I have flank.
Just chill. Taking.
Oh my god, I cannot believe you. I cannot believe you.
Look at the As you can see, we get this nice little one-way over the top of the smoke here when we're boosted up, and a lot of the people have never even seen this boost before, and it's extremely strong. Unfortunately, I don't have access to my private server because we got the Anubis collection, and it actually messed it up, so I can't actually go in the server and put the bot down for you. So you'll just have to take my word for it, and not the enemy's word for it as well, because it seemed like they couldn't see me just based on the way they were typing to me. And then I'm going to show you the most insane boost that you've probably never seen before, and it's very easy to do. Now, if you ever have a saved op, or even just a saved rifle, this is a really good play. I wouldn't recommend doing this on a normal round, but if you ever have just one gun, you can go ahead and do this boost. You're going to get one guy to go ahead and crouch right here, just like this on the line. He's going to crouch like this, and then you're going to have somebody jump on his head, and when you do that, you're going to get this nice line of sight through the scaffolding here on the edge of the rock, and if you use it with the op, it's very strong. So we're going to go ahead and come over towards A main, and we're going to look for him. Do we see him? Do we see him? Probably not. He's right here. As you can see, it's extremely difficult, and if I kill him and I reset him so that he's not glitched, you'll see it's even harder to see him than you originally thought. If you're saying that you see him immediately, you are lying to me because I'm an experienced player and I can't even tell if there's somebody there until I double scope with the op. It's just that strong. You may think that it's going to be difficult if they just swing past the angle, but trust me, I've used this many times on my stream. It's extremely easy to get kills with it because they can't actually swing past. You have a lot of room to work with here. And of course, it does work with the rifle. This is going to be for all of you pro players that watch me and up-and-coming pro players. I want to show you guys a cool flash that I've been throwing in my teams. Recently, I want to show you it's nice, a supportive flash. What you're going to do is, as they're executing B, if you're the A player or the mid player, you guys may not have known this, but you can actually throw flashes over the roof here to support your B players. It's actually kind of scary that, I haven't actually seen anybody do this before. So, if you're rotating from A, you can just throw a quick little run throw, a flash over this wall like so. Anybody coming out towards B here is actually going to get full blinded. Now, I know it's not the most crazy flash, like it's not like a pop flash, but I think that your players that are playing towards the back of the site are actually going to appreciate this a lot, because it's actually not blinding us, and it's just popping directly above our heads. Very strong little flash that you could throw. And it actually goes one better because you could throw these from mid as well. If you ever happen to be like, maybe you're here and they're like, oh, B-pop, you could throw a flash over the wall like this. Just, you know, it's same concept, but it does just the same little flash here. You know, just one little video to make you a better teammate. A lot of people have asked me on my stream if it's actually possible to boost from here to up here, and the answer to this question is yes, but I've played a lot of Anubis, and I'm going to tell you that there's really just no way, or there's no real reason in this world that it would ever be useful. I don't know. It's actually very hard to do, though. So you're going to have one guy line up like this, and when you jump on his head, you still have to make sound to jump from this to here. So like, it's not like even a sneaky boost. Like, you have to make a lot of noise. Like, you're never gonna catch anybody off guard because you make that noise, that super loud noise. You know the one I'm talking about. Like, listen to this. Just listen. Everybody's going to hear that. They know exactly what's going on. Okay, so I don't think it's a useful boost, but, you know, it is still technically possible. On Anubis, there's actually a really cool one way that you could throw for yourself in pugs, and a lot of pro players actually throw this as well. So if you're playing Anubis for the first time and you don't have teammates that know how to throw any utility, which is going to be extremely common, you can actually throw this for yourself on T side. Now what you're going to do is, instead of just fighting E-box every single round because you're probably just going to die, you can actually just go ahead and line up right here on this little dot on the first stair. You're going to go ahead and crouch and look for this brick and aim like this. Now I know it's going to take a second, so go ahead and, you know, have a look. And then whenever you're ready to throw it, just left click the smoke. It's going to nicely land in towards the right, or in towards the canal here. This does also work on matchmaking. And you'll be able to one-way towards this left side right here. And, you know, that's pretty nice. But, you know, you might still get, you know, pre-fired. And that's nice enough, but you can actually also one way from the right side as well, especially if you have an op. It's very easy to see over here. Sometimes you'll get a gap at the bottom of the water here. It just depends. As you can see, we have it right now. Look at this gap. This is absolutely disgusting, and there's no way anybody would ever see you. And then, of course, you can one way it from this side and this side. If you're an A player like myself, you may have been watching the recent Paris Major and some other events since then, and we've actually seen a really cool new smoke come up. Now, credit to my boy Pug. He actually showed this on Twitter the other day and added Stico. And basically, I'll just go ahead and show you as well. Stico, what he did was he knew they were splitting in towards A, and he didn't really have anything to fight with. He's the A player, and he can't fight A main, because if he tries to fight A main, he's going to get pinched from camera. So instead, he just got into this corner, and he lined up like this. He's looking at the lines here, so if we get closer, as you can see, there's these three little lines here. If you aim at like this over here, so let's go back now. We aim at the left side. Whenever we're ready to throw the smoke there, oh, they're splitting, they're coming in through camera. We'll throw the smoke, and we're going to get this really nice one way. If anybody tries to come through camera, we will see their feet, and of course from their perspective they can't see anything. So let's go back one more time now that we can see here. You know, it's as simple as you like, and you'll be able to get these kills, and then whenever you get these, you maybe can go out for one more or just stay alive because you've done your job and defended the A hit.